Hey guys, Nick here on today's edition of the Old Weather Wall. We're going to talk about why it is warm before it's cold. I hear a lot of people all the time, no matter where I go, they say, well, only in wherever I am right now, is it storming one day and cold the next? That, my friends, is a myth, and we're about to bust it right now. Why is it warm before it's cold? Because that's how physics works in the United States. In fact, if I were to draw the United States, right into Texas, we got Florida, we can go into the Northeast, we got the Great Lakes. Obviously, I'm no Picasso over here. Or maybe I am. Maybe that's kind of what this is. An area of low pressure that moves across the United States, you get a cold front and you get a warm front, because low pressure spins like this. And so, as you come around the front side of it, you end up with a south wind. On the back side of it, you end up with a north wind. A south wind is generally pretty warm, especially across parts of the southeast, and a north wind is pretty cold, especially across parts of the northern hemisphere. And so you end up in a situation where it goes from warm to cold, because that's how low pressure works, because ahead of it, you end up with a south wind. Now, oftentimes, ahead of a cold front here, so we'll put our little cold front on here, and our little warm front over here, that south wind, because it's lined up right next to where the north wind is, a lot of times I hear people say, well, how do you get thunderstorms? Well, it's when cold air and warm air mix. That's not totally false, but it certainly is generalizing things dramatically. It is where warm air meets cold air, sort of. It's along the cold front, and that tends to be where we get all the showers and thunderstorms to develop, is right along that cold front. And so what ends up happening, you guys have probably seen me draw stuff like this before. Here comes the cold front like this. If we've got warm air here, as that cold front moves this way, it pushes the warm air aloft, and you end up making a big, nasty cloud. And in the southeast, they are big and nasty. You can get lightning out of these. You can get really heavy rain out of these. Sometimes you got big fat hailstones out of these things too, because the oomph that you're getting off of this cold front and all of the warm air that is in place, the difference between those two creates a situation where you can create a big nasty thunderstorm. Well, back in behind it, once the cold front kicks all the way through, well, that's when the wind flips back around to the north. And once you get back in behind a cold front and stuff starts coming back in from the north, that is when we really start to cool things down, because you end up with a wind out of Canada, and that wind comes blowing in, and that is a very, let me try that again, that is a very, there we go, cold wind out of the north. And so you end up with a north wind, and things get cold. That's how it works everywhere. All across the United States, almost no matter where you live, almost no matter what time of the year that it is. Ahead of things, you get a south wind, you warm up. Behind them, you get a north wind, and things cool back down.